man. Why are you calling me a bastard? Why?
Is there a reason why you've insulted him before the show's even started?
Yeah, seriously, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Husam? Have you had a
play
bad
the
day?
fucking intro, Matisse,
Have you had a bad day? Nah, let's start there, man. We need to start this off on
Matisse,
the right
we got an easy show today, mate.
Matisse.
Sorry, my bad. Matisse, you do not have an easy show today, bro, because we're talking on Chelsea as well.
What?
3, 2, 1, start.
Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Battle of the North. I've come with my jacket, do you know what I'm saying? Because it's cold outside. I've just come out from out there, you know, I went shops, I cleared my head, fed the ducks, watered the plants, and I just, you know, get myself mentally ready, prepared for Battle of the North, because I know I'm going to have to be flinging out cards and whistles and God knows what dog's abuse I'm about to take for this episode and where my team's currently at. But yo,
Monday's not an easy day for you. Come to think about it. You have Battle of the North, then usually you have Big Six.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Being a team that I think have won what 5. Yeah. Is it 4, 5, 6 times in the last 6 times in? Yeah. Don't
worry about it. You don't need to get specific. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
you just don't win much. You're right. You don't win much.
He suffers so much being.
He already wants to cry. We ain't even started yet. Yeah, that's the mad part.
Yeah, Daps. He suffers so much in front of his great audience and the Big Six audience. War is Matisse. You know what I'm saying? War is Matisse.
Don't forget DR as well.
Yeah, and DR. Oh my God, in front of, you know, combined probably 1 million people a month. War is Matisse. Great work as always, Matisse, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you want to commentate these licks instead, yeah?
I'll roll with the punches. Yes. I'll roll with the punches on Big Six and DR and everything else. Yes, and Formula One settings. Congrats on that as well.
Thank
you know what I'm saying?
And
Carlos wouldn't have licks to take because he just has no opinions, but we'll get to that in a second.
Whoa. Okay. Mr. Take Note. Sarcasm City TV. You know what I'm saying? Flawless in the building, brother. Already insulted by Mystic Husam.
Twice.
How are you doing today? Yeah.
Twice. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm always blessed as always. My team is not, but outside of football, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? People like Husam and others be upset that I don't be crying, you know what I'm saying, on these live streams and going wild and all that. I've said it before, I say it again. I never bleed in front of the soldiers, man. You lot will never see me cry. Never ever see me cry, never ever see me sweat, because I have decorum in it. Some other people don't, and that's each to their own in it. Some people like being memed and all them things there. I'm different. But yeah, man, big up to having me. Big up for having me, as always. That's just, if the shoe fits, wears it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them. I'm saying I have decorum, and I got people who watch me, people who look up to me. I can't be doing them things. But yeah, bump up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Matisse, big up for having me, as always.
Yeah. Big up the chat. I see you. Listen, we will be running a poll very soon for where you wish to start. Mystic Husam, Don Husam, you better be running them spaces, Husam. The lion himself, the bearded brother. I don't know. I'm gonna keep giving you more nicknames every day. What's going on? What? You got a soundboard, a UKG? What's going on over there?
If the shoe fits.
What is this? Foot Asylum. What do you mean if the shoe fits? What's going on here?
Man just played a soundboard thing for no reason. Anyway, listen, Flawless, ain't no soldiers.
I'm introducing the villain.
The way he timed that was nasty as well. I'm not going to lie.
And I just have my intro. Guys, when it's Husam's intro, let Husam speak, because the people want Husam to speak.
What, you're talking in intros? You should have picked up in the third person. He should have picked up a yellow card in the intro before the show started.
Unbelievable, Jeff. So anyway,
fucking hell.
As I was saying, first of all, Flawless, ain't no soldiers, we're just football content creators. Second of all, I do want to see you happy in your real life. Of course, I want to see you.
Yeah, of course.
I want to see your team miserable. That's all. Not Flawless, the human being. Huh? You get me? I haven't listened to his music. Come on, man. Big up, Flawless. Support the thing. Now, big up to Battle of the North audience. We're out here. Big up to my co-pilots running them spaces currently as things stand. And make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys are subscribing. Matisse doesn't ask because he's a bozo and does not know how to host. So make sure you guys are liking the video right now. Every single one of you slap that like button. Don't just press it. Slap the fuck out of that like button. And subscribe to Matisse's channel. Because if you're not subscribing, you're not liking with this great, unreal content that is Battle of the North, then you will never subscribe because you're an idiot. So like and subscribe right now. Big up Matisse for having
He's
me.
insulted everyone today. It's fantastic. I love it. He's
I actually have a suggestion. Why don't you move me and Daps to the top row, because we got 3 points this week, and put you both, because I refuse to be below someone who's 13th and 14th. I think that's disrespectful to me and Daps. You need to move us. You need to put
Sam,
Daps
get comfortable with your club, bro. When you're comfortable with City, I don't care.
Top row, 3 points. What is this behavior?
This is kind of the format, you know. It's always look this way. It feels right. No.
It feels right, but it's so wrong. To be fair.
Yeah, exactly. It's wrong.
It's fine, but I'm comfortable with it, bro. Whatever makes you, man, feel a bit better about your massive clubs.
I can take it from Daps because you know he's what is it? Four titles in a row you're chasing. But Flawless, do you remember Husam asking for such movements in screen on when Liverpool were behind United last season? Do you remember?
You asking for Husam to be consistent? Come on, man. We know Husam.
I don't remember asking for such demands when Liverpool were rising from
I love the fact
I think Liverpool spent a long time in the season next to us in 9th and 8th actually for large parts.
I mean,
technically, I don't remember him asking for that, but in mid-September now suddenly we need to change the whole format of the screen. Oh, I'm so confused. Sorry, Daps.
They spent two. They've actually ended up 2 times.
Why do what I do?
Let Big Cherry sing.
Get no closer. No matter how hard I go, my car is stolen. Registration. That's Matisse right now.
Oh, I thought you were going to get to the actual singing. Come on. I was waiting for the chorus. I was going to throw it in.
Oh, and I'm locked up. They won't let me out.
Oh,
that is a banger. I'm not going to lie. I'll let you land because that is a banger. That is an absolute
He's locked up.
Wait, the maddest thing is, I mean, I know United are above Chelsea, but to be fair to Chelsea, at least their goal difference is on 0.
What's
-4, bro. -4. -4 already.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk.
I can't lie. That's even the most insulting compliment I've heard my whole life.
Fully 100% a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, I just said, hey, at least your goal difference is 0. Yo, that's bad. That's actually bad.
2-footed tackles, never a foul. MCFC Daps in the building. Panda Bear. The Panda himself. How you doing, brother? You good?
Why the Panda? Why are you calling me?
Yeah, because you did the whole Panda.
Oh, yeah,
Panda
I don't know when.
That's your thing. You don't remember your thing?
Yeah, I just do it at the end of the season, end of every season, last game of the season. Usually when we're lifting Premier League trophies, to be fair. So, yeah, man, good weekend. We went over to Stratford and did what you man couldn't, innit? We humbled a fan base that we got no problem with. I mean, I've told you, us and Hammers and that, we're friends. But for some reason, they all of a sudden actually thought they were like this was a rivalry. And like there was a good moment where they started singing "Champions of Europe." We know what we are, and then we stood up and really sang "Champions of Europe." And then we all clapped together. But at the same time, it's like almost out of embarrassment for them. Like, come on, and when they started singing "Top of the League," when they went 1-0 up, it's like, all right,
it's a bit of banter between the two.
But when we went top, I was like, I'm not singing "We're top of the league" in September. That I don't ever want to sing "We're top of the league," right? I just want to sing "Champions." This whole celebrating is weird, but yeah, good. And it's one of them ones where midway through the game, well, yeah, about this, I can't remember. We scored off. Oh. Sorry, when we scored our second would have been about 65th. We were actually singing because we just heard that United had gone 3-0 down and we were in the middle of never felt more like singing the blues. City win, United lose, oh City.
The only team with 100% record as well.
And then I turned to the guy next to me and go, to be fair, we're not actually winning, it's 1-1. And as I said it, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we just carried on singing it. Like it was a great day.
It's a nice, easy life that you lot are living.
And it was one of them ones where I'd actually told Cass and all the Never a Foul lot, I will be back because usually if we like next weekend we're playing Forest. I've said Saturday night I won't be there. You won't need me there. We're gonna win. You won't need me there, right? But I was worried about the West Ham game, so I said I will be back. Right. When we won, the lot I was with were like, oh, you don't need to go back. And I was like, I don't need to go back. But Man United lost. I need to go back, right?
Bro,
so I need to go back and make sure Cass is okay, but also make sure Cass is not okay. So it was a perfect day for me, really was.
Yeah, I watched your game. Not that we're not going to start with it because.
Sorry, Matisse, can I just say something about next week because Daps mentioned it and I have to talk about this. I'm really sorry because we cannot. No, because you know what it is. Us as football content creators, one thing I think everyone here is proud of is we do represent true fans of the game. That scheduling from the Premier League is fucking pathetic. The scheduling from the Premier League.
I agree.
Put the North London derby. Hear me out. Put the North London derby and the Liverpool West Ham game and the Chelsea Villa game all at the same time and give Newcastle Sheffield the 4:30 slot is pathetic. This is not an
stuff. I didn't know that. Well, so what is that? All of them at 2? Because I know all of them at 1:30 on Sunday, is it?
Yeah. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
All of them have 2 p.m.
There's 4 games.
Every single one of them is. Imagine North London derby and Liverpool against West Ham and Chelsea against Aston Villa are all happening at the 2 p.m. slot. This is
those are good games. Those are good games.
Yeah. Exactly. And Newcastle, 100%. I don't want this to be understood as me being anti-Newcastle because that's what
Newcastle have plenty of lives this season.
I have no problem with Newcastle Football Club. I'm simply talking about the scheduling for fans all over the world. Because me as a neutral, I think people on the panel would also agree. I want to watch the North London derby.
I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, we want to watch that game. So now, unless you have 2 screens or whatever, you can't watch that game. So this is the thing, like the scheduling from the Premier League perspective, all you have to do was just make one of them games on a Saturday or whatever the fuck. The scheduling is mad. You cannot have Newcastle v Sheffield be the Sunday 4:30 slot on its own. That's what's pathetic. Because we're usually
Newcastle play tomorrow as well, right?
The reason why nothing on Newcastle is because when Newcastle are playing Aston Villa, I'm looking forward to it. When Newcastle are playing Brighton, I'm looking forward to it. And Newcastle are gonna play Dortmund, PSG, Milan in midweek. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch it. So I'm gonna watch.
Not Sheffield.
Yeah, but that's the other thing that don't make sense.
Sheffield United. You know what I mean?
But thank you.
Hold on, but here's the other thing with it: that Newcastle play tomorrow against Milan, right?
Yeah.
Right. So they play on Tuesday. Yeah, they're out in Milan now. I've seen that. I think pretty certain it's Milan. They're doing. I don't know if you've seen any videos. There's streets like that.
Just got battered by Inter. Yeah.
There's streets like that full of water, and the Georges are sliding down it on their bellies. Like
love it.
But that's Tuesday, and then the game Sunday. They could have played Friday.
They could have played Saturday.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense. The scheduling is what it is, isn't it?
By the way, I just want to reiterate, please, because this is important. I just want to reiterate something. This is not an anti-Newcastle thing. I'm just saying you can't have Newcastle Sheffield have the 4:30 slot because this is unfair to the fan base, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, we're trying to watch Chelsea. We're trying to watch Tottenham versus Arsenal. We ain't trying to see fucking Newcastle Sheffield. If it was Newcastle City, if it was Newcastle United, Newcastle Liverpool, we understand. But Newcastle Sheffield, come on, man.
And apparently they've been live every single game week. It's not.
And to be fair, I am trying to watch Chelsea, right, for a particular reason, because I keep being told when I'm saying, okay, this 105 million player that doesn't get goals, doesn't get assists, doesn't dominate midfields, doesn't do the DM role, doesn't have the mentality, I keep getting told I'm not watching him. I need to watch him and see what he brings. So I'm trying to watch more Chelsea to educate myself about what this 105 million pound flop is actually doing. So
for someone that rates Kovacic and rates Grealish, and you have these players that necessarily
someone that's helping to trophies.
I was meant to be going over to your neighbours to begin with, but you just dragged my club.
I did.
Even though my club's crest is not on this thumbnail, and I'm not on this thumbnail for good reason, but you wanted to go there.
Yeah, so let's go there.
You guys have got.
You can't. But you can't. Be honest. I understand this is better than North, but we need at least 5 minutes. We can't ignore the fact you can't score against Bournemouth.
Matisse, let me ask you a question. Matisse, let me just ask you a question. This is a thing because
I don't think you guys understand. You're saying that Husam say
all right. Can I just ask you one thing?
No. Hold on 1 second. Before we start the Q&A, right, of Bournemouth, right? You guys, you constantly telling me, Husam, I can't host. Now I'm trying to host. You're telling me, shut up and I want to do this. How about you just listen to what I'm telling you we need to do? We need to go to Manchester United at home, right? After a 3-1 defeat at home to Brighton. We're not starting with Bournemouth. We're not starting with Chelsea, right? You guys are on the thumbnail.
Question.
You know what this show is called.
Quick question. You're on the thumbnail as well, aren't you? It's your channel.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, you're on the
should
thumbnail.
be. Well, get yourself on the thumbnail then. Listen, I'm asking the question whether you like it or not.
Look to Flawless's left. What does next to Flawless's left say? Matisse on the screen.
And do you know what's
because
so funny?
This is Matisse's channel. This is Chelsea right here.
Let me let the guys in the chat know. When I tried to bring the London show into the Carnage, into the battle show, London Club's Carnage with Battle North, I tried to bring them together. This brother on the bottom right wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't shut up. So I was trying to give that Chelsea microscope that attention. But he was like, oh, I want to talk. But fuck the other 5 people on the panel. I want to talk. It's my show. Mystic Husam, main character syndrome. So you can hold that, hold that, and remind yourself, you. This is what the show is. If you don't understand it, then it's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if we get some time in the end, we'll brush up on that Bournemouth.
All right, no problem, but I'm going to ask that question.
Can you ask the chat? If you want us to talk about Chelsea, just spam Chelsea in the chat, please. Just spam Chelsea.
And meanwhile, I'm going to ask the question.
I don't care what they spam, because you're going to critique me as a poor host if I don't get this under control.
Matisse, I'm going to ask the question real quick, right? Now, this is what I'm saying. You're now going to talk about Kovacic. You're going to talk about Grealish. You're going to talk about players. But that is what I'm saying. If you paid 70 million...
How much was Grealish?
Yeah, no problem. No problem. And that's what I'm saying. When someone buys a player, I will go, right, there's certain things I want to see. Now, the key one is GA, right? I'm not the fan of it, but fact is...
Neither am I. So that's why me and you...
But would we agree that if there was GA, then you go, okay, there's some GA, so that's going to save him. But let's move that because we're better than that, right? No problem.
Well, so then you'll go... You know what's really critical in the A is there has to be someone for the G. And we just watch Chelsea struggle to do the G because they can't shoot. So
but
that's going to bring everyone's A's down. A lot of people should have got A's. You got Haaland up front. You got Haaland up front who can miss 5 chances in a game.
You're just making the segment longer.
You can take 29 shots and still win because Haaland, even though he's missed 5 chances, he's bagged one of them because you're just a constant, you're a machine.
So now the next thing.
So everyone's going to get their A because you got a generational.
You're not deflecting, bro. You're not deflecting. I'm going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Doku's here now. So I look forward to Jackie G versus Doku, bro.
I look forward. I'll speak to you about that because that one's
we're going to get there, man. We're going to get there.
But then there's the next thing. The next thing is, and this is where you mentioned Jack Grealish, right? The next thing is, if you cost 100 million, you come in and you are a significant part of a team. You're playing a lot of the games for that team, and that team is winning trebles, doubles, retaining, three-peats.
No one talks about it.
Well, you're a contributing factor to a team winning trophies, right? But then we'll go deeper than that because, again, trophies, GA, that doesn't tell a true story. You might be a DM, which is valid. You might be a DM and you might be really good defensively. That might be what Enzo offers. Hold on, no, you've gone and bought Caicedo, Lavia and still play with 3 at the back. So he really can't rate him that much defensively either. So then let's move on to, okay, it must be that he's got that mentality that's dragging the team over the line. Well, that definitely isn't fucking happening. So then I watched the game just with my own eyes. And admittedly, Chelsea fans, I don't watch too many Chelsea games, but I definitely watched one yesterday. I definitely watched the Chelsea game yesterday. Now, Matisse, I watched with my own 2 eyes.
You mad, yo.
I didn't see him, bro. Can you tell me what this guy does? Because I watched him with my own 2 eyes.
I don't see Chelsea on this thumbnail.
So you don't want to answer that? No problem. You don't want to answer it.
I don't see any of this.
Hold that. Now we can move on.
Flawless.
It's chat. Are you done? Are you man finished?
I can't lie. Matisse just shows he has no balls. I'm going to be honest with you.
Manchester United.
Let's go.
1. Brighton, Hove, Albion, 3. I watched it. I think everybody watched it, but I certainly watched it.
Yeah, we all watched Chelsea as well, but you don't want to talk about it.
Unfortunately, I watched it too. I did watch you lot against Bournemouth as well. Side note, I did watch that as well.
Bro, I mean, Ten Hag right now, he's made a lot of big decisions, and I feel like they have certainly divided opinion, and it's all dependent on what you're looking for in a manager. And I think a lot of people will say, and we spoke about this last week with Sancho, and obviously you've got a lot of other lists of names that Maguire's, etc. De Gea's. It's just been a long drama since he's come in. But now results And if results don't pick up soon, people are going to forget all about that. And maybe they're going to start to look at those decisions and say, what if? Where are you at right now at Man United? Because that was a weird performance, because you weren't actually that bad in the first like 20 minutes, in my opinion. You actually looked pretty good, but then you just lost control. And Brighton, I don't even think they were at their best. They were in second gear for me. So
what about how were you watching? Brighton kicked them off the park, bro. Look at
they did, bro. But I don't think that's Brighton at their best.
Why you always try to minimize United losses? I noticed you're trying to do this.
I think Brighton were in second gear, man. What's wrong with why are you so angry? Why
is that so crazy?
No,
why are you so angry?
Lawless, I don't even have a problem with you. This Matisse guy, why you always act like United lost nicely? Why is it always like that?
He's not lying though. Brighton were not at their best.
If I lose or Daps loses, this is how he intros the segment. Oh, Husam, Liverpool suck. You lose again. Well, blah, 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 blah. But when it's this guy, it's like,
well, do you know what?
You guys played well for 15 minutes. Guess what? The game is 90 minutes long. Let me tell you something.
You know what? Maybe there's a lesson to be learned. If you two at the bottom couldn't stop with this whole Chelsea shit, maybe I would be nice to you. But you pissed me off.
You two with your mid-table mentality.
Flawless is the only one. Flawless is the only one who had any grace and decorum today to say, do you know what? Let's actually address the actual topics, which is Manchester United first, and then we go on to your clubs. But you two want to be little dickheads.
Sam, I've noticed a word both of them have used, this mid-table term called decorum. While you two can't talk shit on other people, you want to throw that name around. Decorum.
You can hold that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck your club.
Here's the thing is that
hold your decorum.
It is the facts. It is decorum number one.
Inflatable Champions Leagues. Fuck off with your decorum.
Where's your team's decorum on the pitch?
Sometimes shamelessness is gone, but don't get mistaken. I will clap back. The reason why I don't, you know what I'm saying, go at Matisse, because I don't pick fan bases. I put names on bullets. You know what I'm saying? I go specifically at that person. So if I'm going at Husam, I'm not going to attack every Liverpool fan I work with and know. Nah, I'm going directly at Husam. Same with you, Daps. Me and you, we don't really have any issues. Say again?
No, we don't.
You do attack Ryan every stream, to be fair.
No, but that's little bro though, so that's different. You know what I'm saying? And that Ryan's actual like that's Ryan's little like for those that don't know, like as much as I get onto Ryan, like that's my actual little bro, like outside of this shit. Like that's family. So that's why I go at him. But I put names on bullets. So that's why I don't attack Matisse.
Okay, but Flawless, you understand that.
He ain't got a gun to shoot him yet, but he puts names on him.
He didn't even let me finish. Flawless.
He didn't. I know
he thinks in his mind, because he's on the defensive, he thinks I'm complimenting Manchester United by saying that Brighton won at their best and they beat you 3-1 at home. He thinks that's a compliment. That's not a compliment. That's not a compliment at all. Brighton,
you know what the problem is?
Brighton were in second gear. Hold on a second. Brighton were in second gear with a whole heap of injuries, with players coming off the bench, right, and beat Manchester United 3-1. He thinks that's a compliment. What's it going to look like when I cuss Man United? What's it going to look like? Shit.
Okay. Can I give you honest? Can I just? I don't even. This is a flawless segment. I understand, but my problem is with your intro. So my problem ain't even. I'm not even gonna address the game. I'm just gonna talk to you about your intro. So when I see on their lineup the likes of Veltman and Pascal Gross and Dawood and Welbeck and Lallana and Milner coming off the bench, and
let's
your
not
intro
disrespect Gross. Let's not do
by
that.
the way, I don't even think Brighton played that well today.
Don't disrespect
Flawless,
Pascal Gross.
You guys played well for 15 minutes. Can you tell me your thoughts? What the fuck?
You didn't let, but number one, you didn't let him finish.
Matisse.
And number
don't
two,
disrespect Pascal Gross.
And two, let's not forget me and Matisse a few weeks ago. He was legit trying to set Manchester. He was no. Matisse was let's not do this because these things here, these live streams are recorded. Matisse legit said on stream, "I'm trying to set Manchester United up." That's why he picked us second. Let's not forget that me and Matisse went back and forth for 2-3 weeks.
Do you still stick by Man United second?
Of course he don't stick by that. We know that. Of course not. Yes, like come on, man. Of course not. But the point that I'm making is let's not act like Matisse is nice to Manchester United. He legit said verbatim, I'm picking Manchester United second to set them up. How much more ammunition do you need? What you want, Husam, what he's upset about is that you actually looked at it logically and you looked at it in context and said, Manchester United, we're decent for the we're decent for the first 15
I just
20
wanted
minutes.
him to segue the segment properly.
He hadn't finished. He hadn't even finished.
Matisse should have said,
you segue how you want to segue. I segue how I want to segue.
Tell me your opinion. Simple.
Didn't, but let him go. You just want to dictate all the time. Like you didn't even let him finish saying what he was saying.
He's moving like a dictator.
I don't
like the thing is, yeah, we know you tried.
Man wants to be. You want to be Jorginho. You want to be a Regista, yeah.
The thing is, you can lose in a game 3-1. You can lose in a game 3-1 and have good moments. It wasn't all bad. Was it terrible for the most part? Yes. But all Matisse is pointing out is what actually happened. Brighton weren't at their best. Nobody thinks Brighton was at their best. Why is that such a wild statement to say? I don't think Brighton was at their best. You know what I'm saying? We know this. You know what I'm saying? We know this. Like, what we talking about? But you just upset that people don't crash on Manchester United.
You're right. I'm going to take a step back. This is the Man United segment, so Flawless needs to start. So
thank you. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15 minutes into it.
You're right. I only had a problem with his segue. He trying to act like you had a good
I'm going to just go through some statistics, right?
We did.
Just to shut this guy up. 14 shots to 10 in favour of Manchester United. 8 corners to 1 in favour of Manchester United. 39% of the ball was spent in the final third of Brighton, right? In the final third for Manchester United in Brighton's defensive third, right? 42% in the middle, 19% the other way. Manchester United were not good, but I'm just saying the game was not where Man United were just shit the whole game. They had their own chances. They could have scored goals if they weren't selfish in certain instances, etc., etc.
Well, what you were doing there is, let's be real, right?
We've got the second Man United hater now.
No, I gotta be honest. Firstly, yes, I hate Man United. But secondly, if Man United have just lost at home before the game, I was saying Man United are winning this because I've got to give respect to what is happening at Old Trafford. They're not playing well, but they're winning games, right? So, but we've got to say how it is. To start off a segment where Manchester United lost 3-1 at home, yeah, you tried to soften the blows. Why did you do that? Because
you know what?
You and him are in the mud together, so you're feeling sorry for it.
Exactly.
Do you know what? Let me explain it to you.
And then he tells me and you about decorum. Let
me explain it to you. I had so much more like you wanted vim, right? You wanted some energy, but you guys sucked it now. But you sucked it all out of me by pressuring me over balls. You took it all out of me by pressuring me over balls. For 18 minutes. You guys wanted to be on my necks. So I'm so busy. I'm so busy defending you. I'm so busy defending against you. I didn't have the energy
anymore. Manchester United. That's the
one. Attack them.
I told you your goal difference is better than theirs. There's something for you to go with, bro. Attack them.
And can I show you how disingenuous you are? You just said United could have scored. You just said United could have scored. If Pedro made 2 or 3 right decisions, Joao Pedro, and Ansu Fati scored that chance, that ends 5-1, 6-1.
Yeah, of course. But no, the thing is, Husam, what you're saying, you're both right. You're right.
Disingenuity.
No, that's what you're right. But he is also right. If Manchester United did make better decisions, we would have scored. What are we talking about? This is just extra.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
Doing too much, man.
Like, I agree with you.
The hate for Manchester United is different.
I agree with you. I agree with you. All I'm saying is you could say the same exact thing in reverse for Brighton. So that's what makes it a shit excuse then.
It's not an excuse. Did he make excuses?
Yes.
He made no excuses.
Yes,
he did. This is some tag team thing going on today.
What is going on? No, it's not. This is an alliance of convenience because you two hate United so much, man. Like
it's not even that. It's just them two.
Oh, no, I want to laugh. I don't even care about United anymore.
They're all snapping at the heels. They don't. You know what it is? They don't want to have any grace and decorum. They don't want to take any time with their food. They don't want to take any time with their food. You know,
grace and decorum.
We come here, we put 2 plates on the table. Yum 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 yum. Bro, take time, bro.
Take
food's not going anyway.
Say grace. They need to say grace.
Well, you man are used to taking time. Look how long your club's taking time.
This guy, yo.
Hey, our clubs are showing grace and decorum on the pitch.
This guy, oh my god, but geez,
graceful performances. I know you ain't seen that.
This is great deflection from both of you.
No, it's not. I don't even know what the question.
When was the last time you saw your club score 3 goals in a game?
Let me get to the question.
2005.
I don't even know what the question is. You know what I'm saying? Matisse, what's the question? I don't even know what the question is.
You know what? I've lost train of thought.
But I don't even know what the question.
You ain't got no food to eat about grace and decorum.
Let me ask you, what was the biggest issue in that defeat? Because you lost 3-1 at home. Like it was a
everything. Yeah, everything. We beat down that. So just to clarify, he said it was a beat down.
Yeah, I just gave them what they wanted. Yeah.
Which I agree with wholeheartedly. So I can't even take shots at that. But what went wrong? Where to start everything? You did ask initially before you was rudely interrupted into regards to Ten Hag and his decision making and you must start laughing. I'm trying to be serious here and things that
Sometimes it's better to laugh than cry, though, Flawless, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got decorum, so don't cry on stream. Laugh on stream.
Yeah.
I always have
don't
decorum.
Cry for the soldiers.
I'm always laughing all the time, innit? Even when it's bad. But you man are idiots. But I'm my life, yeah, everything. So in regards to, I'll start with the actual game rather than Ten Hag issues and things of that nature, which I'll get to. In regards to the game, so the whole conversation over the international break with the whole Sancho, well, Anthony obviously having a leave of absence was like, who's going to play right wing? Will it be Sancho? Will it be Pellistri? Obviously, Sancho's been banished from the first team, so I'm expecting Pellistri to get a start. That's the major conversation. Let's see how he does over on the right wing in the first team. He's been bright pretty much every time he's played this season, also last season as well. Let's see how he does. Give him a shot. And then you see the lineup, and then obviously everyone, for including myself, is Bruno wide right. So he's gone with McTominay, Casemiro, Eriksen in the midfield, Bruno right, Rashford left, Højlund up top. And then it sets up and it's like, oh, it's actually a diamond. Okay, so he switched it up and gone to a diamond. Telling with that is, my biggest issue with the diamond is if Anthony's available, you do not play that diamond. That's a big red flag to me. And that's what I genuinely think. And it's kind of like, is Anthony playing on the right wing or nobody? And it's not even like it's a player who's performing well, who's getting goals, who's getting assists, etc., etc. So you change your whole system simply because Anthony's not there. That's a red flag. Obviously, we'll see when we play Bayern Munich on Wednesday, when we play Burnley, when we play Palace in the Cup and in the league, what formation he does actually play. So that was a concern. And I agree with you. For the first 15, 20 minutes, I was surprised by the performance. Knocking the ball around well. Brighton only had the one shot on target, which was the goal. Didn't really threaten. We didn't threaten them too tough, but I know our attack isn't the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all on Rashford. Højlund was bright, though. And yeah, we was doing okay, but the start was good. But when you have good starts, you need to go and get that goal to reinforce having a good start. Then we get sucker punched by Brighton with Welbeck goal, good goal. Lindelof and Casemiro at fault. Some of the goals we've given up this season are just inexcusable. I'll forgive good skill. Like, even though people be like, oh, Martinez got turned by Gross, it was a fake shot. It was a good fake shot. Martinez thinks he's going to shoot. He's pulled it back onto his right foot and ended up scoring. But that first goal is inexcusable. Welbeck just ran off Casemiro. He has to track that runner. That's nothing to do with age. That's nothing to do with experience. It don't matter if he's 31, if he's 25. Track the runner. Lindelof at the near post. Stronger than that. I seen it just dangling out a leg. Weak. I know Lindelof's not good enough anyway. I'm saying, what? Dangling out a leg?
Oh, I thought it's I mean, kind of, yeah.
No, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Play.
Yeah. So he's not strong enough. Yeah, thank you. And then we 1-0 down, and then I'm thinking, all right, we've been here, we've done not bad. We haven't been great, but we haven't been bad. We was here against Forest in the last home game. Let's step up, turn this around. Yes, Brighton are a much better team than Forest, but I'm expecting a response from the team, and it didn't happen. We got worse, and I know this team can do that, in particular at home. And we didn't turn up in the second half and got rightfully beat. And what was telling was the players walking around. The substitutions from Ten Hag. Awful substitutions. And that's something last season he was very good at. Our substitutes last year scored more goals than any other substitutes on any other side. So you know how to do it and you've got it right. Subs made no sense whatsoever. There was loud boos. I know people who was at the stadium, loud boos when he took off Højlund for Martial. Yeah. And people will say, oh, he said Højlund wasn't fully fit and wasn't ready to play the 90. Cool, could be the case. So you know what you do. You don't start him and you bring him off the bench at half-time, 60 minutes, however the game is indeed going. So yeah, loud boos and rightfully so. And yeah, when we conceded the second goal, like, I disconnected from the game because even though I was still on my watch along, still doing it, I was like, we're not coming back. I'm like, there's no way we're coming back. He's made the subs. Subs make no sense. Even bringing on Garnacho and Pellistri in the last 5 minutes, whenever it was. And the thing is, we've watched you use Garnacho and Pellistri off the bench effectively last season, in particular Garnacho. Why not just switch the system at 1-0? You know what I'm saying? You can put Garnacho on the left, you can play Pellistri on the right, boom, and then we're good to go. The system that actually worked and got you results last season. The most damning thing is I can say about the performance is it looked like an away performance. If we was away from home against Brighton at the Amex and that happened, yes, I'd be upset about the performance and upset about the result, but I wouldn't be surprised because I've watched us fold away from home time and time again. I'm never confident going into an away game. I'm never confident of a result, never confident of a performance because I've seen these men chuck it in away from home. But at home, that's been the benchmark. Second best home record all last season. We've been resilient there entire season. Beat all the top teams there, apart from Newcastle. We beat everybody else who was in the top 6 and around us last season. And that's where my confidence came from leading into this game, was the home form. And the fact players are walking around, and people who was there, shout out to Double A, and he was like, it looked like the players have chucked it in with the manager. And now it's going to be very telling on Wednesday. It's going to be very telling on Saturday how they respond. Not only of course I'm looking at results, but I'm also looking at performance. I'm looking at formation. I'm looking at personnel. This is fully not solely on Ten Hag, but he has to take a lot of the blame, yes. Because a lot of these players is now your team. And our better players have to take responsibility as well. And that's the big issue in the transfer window, that we're having the same issues as last season. We rely on 4 players. I said it all season long last season. I still stand by that. And the fact we still spent more money, yes, Amrabat's not there yet. We still rely on the same 4 players to perform, for us to perform at a high level. We rely on Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, Rashford. When those 4 are unavailable or don't play well, we do not play well. Varane was missing. Martinez hasn't been good all season long. Casemiro's been a little bit better, but he was poor against Brighton, as was everyone. So was Rashford. As soon as we lose the Brighton game, what's the conversation? Rightfully so, and he deserves the criticism, was Marcus Rashford. And then I look at it and I go, we just still relying on Rashford to do everything. Because if he plays well in that game, we probably win that game, or we get something from the game. I'm looking at our other creative outlets and our other attacking players, but I don't rate our other creative outlets and attacking players. And that's where it falls on the manager, not only to buy better, but implement a system together. But I see people, you've never heard me once on this show or any other show, anytime we've lost, blame the Glazers. Because that's not on them. What happened on that pitch is nothing on the Glazers. Being organised is nothing on the Glazers. I watched Arsenal play Everton. Everton are one of the worst teams in the league, without doubt. Haven't scored a home goal all season long. But I watched them against Arsenal. And one thing I can say about them, organised. So
they know what they're doing at least. They know what the plan is. It might not be able to do it, but
they have a worse manager with worse players and a worse squad and have spent less, yet they're organised. And I'm just using organisation as a prime example. Flawless. That's why I don't blame the Glazers. That's on the manager.
What you said as well, when you were talking about like Garnacho and Pellistri, right? And most people thought they were going to play. I think this is the other issue now, and we've seen, like, certainly Garnacho, we've seen him come off the bench and impact games, right? Yeah. But if you're Pellistri, maybe not so much Garnacho, to be fair, because Garnacho is more naturally on the left, but certainly if you are Pellistri and you've seen Sancho now can't play, you've seen Anthony now can't play, right? And then you're still not getting on the pitch, they're deciding to move Bruno into a position. It's like, well, is Pellestri's morale every time you do that, bro? Is gonna, I mean, his morale because he's outside is not going to be that great. But when you do decide to pick him or bring him on or whatever, it's not going to be there anyway. Because it's like, how am I not getting in this team? You're deciding to keep me. You're not letting me go out on loan. You're not selling me. You're keeping me here. 2 wingers in front of me getting injured, and I'm still not on the pitch. But when you do call on me, you're going to expect me to perform. You can't do that. And even with Rashford as well, I don't know if. Like, it's like Rashford did not want to pass the ball to Reguilon at all. Every time Reguilon was overlapping him, it was like, nah, you're not having this. It's just, I think you're spot on. The team is becoming disconnected. And what you're now at risk of is all the good work that Ten Hag did last season, in particular, with getting Old Trafford back to its winning ways, its place where you kind of go thinking, do you know what, this is a hard game. He's going to lose that overnight.
Is Rashford being selfish, or is he trying too hard? The only person that I wasn't really onto was Rashford. I know people were like clipping up his off the ball.
That's something, by the way. Out of the 6 goals they scored this season, Rashford been involved in 4 of them.
I think the rest of the team, man,
it's a mix. Like, it's a mix at times. Should Rashford play the ball to certain teammates? Yes, 110%. But what I don't like when I hear the criticism of Rashford is the over the top. Like, he's the only winger in the Premier League who is gonna pass when he should shoot, or shoot when he should pass. Like, everyone hypes up. People tell you, oh, Matoma's better than Rashford. Matoma wasn't great against us. You know what I'm saying? He was decent. He wasn't nothing phenomenal. And I've watched him even when they beat Newcastle last week again. But when you're at Manchester United, you're under the microscope. And another thing with the Rashford criticism, and the reason why I defend him, even though I don't defend that, and I'm not defending the manager or no players for that performance in particular, because I'll never do that, because that was terrible. He's the only attacker we have who does anything of note. And people brush this under the carpet, like scoring goals and getting assists is a bad thing. And people say, oh, it's a detriment to the team. People will say, oh, you criticize Bruno for the same thing. You criticize Cristiano Ronaldo for the same thing. The reason why it's different, because I've watched Rashford be the talisman of the attack in a team that was successful. I'm about team success. It's not individuals. Ronaldo scored all them goals and we had our worst ever Premier League season ever. Bruno got all them goals and assists, 1-0. I'm about winning trophies. I'm about team success. This is not boxing. This ain't UFC. This is not darts. This is not an individual sport, people. So that's why I don't like when people use it. Bear in mind, I wanted Rashford sold not after he had the poor season he had, not the season just gone, the season before that, because he looked disinterested, wasn't scoring, wasn't assisting. And I said, if he don't want to be here, move him on. And I did not expect him to have the season he had.
He also season. Probably doesn't. He probably also knows that there's absolutely zero competition for his place. Like, that's true. There's just none, and that's not a good thing either. And the fact that Manchester United don't have competition for a player like Rashford, who, let's be honest, is not this elite level top player. Like, he is still a player that needs to work hard off the ball, etc. He's not like a guy that you give a free role to. The fact that there's no competition for his place kind of speaks volumes of Man United in itself.
That's on Ten Hag, because you can drop anybody. And that's the problem. You drop players. And we've seen you play favourites and not drop players. And that's on you. But then you will talk about standards in training with the Sancho situation, for example. It's like, no, drop players. And the thing is, I've seen you handle these type of situations well. I have no issue the way you dealt with the Maguire situation, the Ronaldo situation, the Sancho situation, the first one, when Sancho had what he was going on off the pitch. Had he given him time to sort himself out? When Rashford was late, when Garnacho had the issues, when he was late, and somebody else was late in pre-season, not this pre-season just gone, the pre-season before. So that's what it is with Ten Hag. Like, even though he's done good things last season, and I love last season and what he did, we need to kick on. And I'm not Ten Hag out, because we're 5 games into the season. And if we had won these 5 games and looked exceptional, I would not be sat here saying, we're going to win the league, we're going to do this, that, and the third, give him the keys to everything. No, I need much more than 5 games. But that Brighton game is a massive, massive concern because of the manner in which we lost it. Because it looked like an away performance. That's the biggest criticism I can give that. And we haven't looked like that at Old Trafford probably since Brighton beat us last time. Even when games we've drew at Old Trafford since then, we didn't look like that. There's points where I can point to and go, all right, we fought, we were resilient. But like I said, we rely on our better players. But that's on our better players need to perform. And that's the manager not buying in the transfer market correctly. It's not. But we still got Amrabat to go into the side. Very interested to see what formation he picks. Because I hope he reverts back to what got him results and success, which was the 4-2-3-1/4-3-3. I'm not really trying to see this, Diamond. I'm not going to sit here and criticize players who I know are not good enough, because I've been said this already.
Yeah, bro, there's no point even.
Yeah, let me speak on this Man United situation. I want to do a deep dive into just Erik Ten Hag, because this is what I'm here to talk about today. And I want to talk about something called football philosophy. There are managers in the world, regardless of who they have, whichever personnel they have. And I hate the excuses that Man United fans always bring to the table regarding personnel. I saw Pep Guardiola in his first season play out from the back possession football with Alexander Kolarov. I saw Jurgen Klopp with Milner and Lallana on each wing play high-octane football. You're supposed to play your philosophy, your style, regardless of whoever the fuck is on the football pitch. You play your way. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I know Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp and the great managers on earth would rather play their way and lose 4-0 than park the bus, because they will refuse to basically give up on their own philosophies. So for me, with Erik Ten Hag, my problem with him is he's a coward, because he refuses to implement his philosophy. And this is the second year. First year, we kept getting told it's because he doesn't have his players. I look at the starting 11 versus Brighton. 6 of them are his players. He clearly trusts Varane. He gave Bruno the captain armband, and he gave Rashford an extension. You cannot have 11 of your players, 20 of your players, and then tell me you're going to play your own philosophy. You have to implement. I'm not talking about results here. I'm simply talking about football philosophy. When it comes to Erik Ten Hag, he has not stuck to a system or to a philosophy since he's arrived. He keeps changing it. And the fact that he went to a diamond in the 5th game this season shows that he's a coward because he did not play Brighton in the Erik Ten Hag way or the Ten Hag philosophy. And that's where my problem lies. And also, with all due respect, this is not the Brighton with the likes of Evan Ferguson or a McAllister or a Caicedo or blah, blah, blah. This is the team that pulled up to Old Trafford. Jason Steele, Veltman, Van Heck, Lewis Dunk, Lamptey left back, Pascal Gross, Dawood, Lallana in the 10, Adingra, who I've never heard of before this game, right wing. Striker was Danny Welbeck, left wing Mitoma. Now, I'm not being disingenuous by saying 99% of the Premier League fans, the only guy in that whole team they'd probably accept in their team is probably Mitoma. No one else. The other 10 players, none of us are taking us in our team. As a matter of fact, some of them are even rejects from our own clubs. But Roberto De Zerbi has
one of them
playing...
from Flawlesses.
Exactly. Roberto De Zerbi has them playing his style of football because you never give up your philosophy.
If the shoe fits.
Your philosophy
and that's the key, bro. The system. He trusted in the system, and the system worked.
And
that's why I want him at my club if Pep goes.
The philosophy needs to be implemented regardless.
Yeah.
And this is Ten Hag's problem because this now is a season and 5 games in, and we're still hearing system excuses. We're still hearing philosophy excuses. And on top of that, many Man United fans, you tell them, what is your style of play? And they're sat there, you know why? Because Ten Hag keeps changing it. Because he himself doesn't know what style of play. He himself doesn't know the philosophy. And Ten Hag is going to run himself into trouble. And he will start losing the dressing room if he doesn't fix up. And the thing is, I don't even think this is simply a personnel thing. I don't even think this is simply an Amrabat coming into the steam thing, because I look at the way they played against Brighton. Amrabat, make no mistake, I'm not going to lie. I wanted them at Liverpool. I'm not going to be one of those guys who simply lies. Like, I wanted them at Liverpool. But when it comes to Amrabat, I don't think he comes in and solves the entire problem. It's not like you just, like, take the 11 that started against Brighton, right? Take out McTominay, put in Amrabat. Do they win that game? The answer is no. And the reason why I got into Matisse at the start of the video is because Brighton in that second half genuinely fuck the agendas. If Joao Pedro and Ansu Fati make 2-3 correct decisions in the final third, this game ends 5-1, 6-1 in their own backyard from Brighton Football Club. This Wednesday, it's going to be a massacre. This Wednesday, it's actually going to be a bloodbath. When they go to the Allianz Arena, it's going to be a bloodbath. And with Erik Ten Hag, he needs to find a system and a style and stick to that fucking style. Win, lose, or draw in very simple ways. Pep Guardiola's philosophy is what? I'ma do plan A. If plan A don't work, I'ma do plan A better. Simple as. Ain't no plan B, ain't no park the bus, ain't no 3 at the back, ain't no none of this. My players are injured. Postecoglou is playing attacking offensive possession football with Pape Sarr, with Bissouma, with Richarlison. Bissouma didn't need to be mentioned there, but you get what I'm saying. With playing at a lower technical level and worse than the players at Man United, and he's still playing offensive football. The lineup that I just read from Brighton, other than Mitoma, no one in the chat is taking anyone in their team. And De Zerbi, there's a clip going around on Twitter, I'm sure all of you watched it, where they just made 30 passes and played out of Man United press because it's De Zerbi's philosophy. So with Ten Hag, my biggest problem with him is he's a coward. He doesn't stick to a philosophy or a style of play. And until he fixes that, nothing's going to change. And final point, I don't want to speak for longer than this. I completely agree with Flawless, with the Rashford point. They scored 6 goals this season. Guys contributed to 4 of them. Of course, he ain't going to trust the others yet. Of course, like, okay, maybe you say sometimes he should have passed here, should have passed there. I get it. But he's looking at himself as the goal scorer of this team. And to be honest, rightfully so. Rightfully so, because no one's outscored him in his team. So it's not like other people are out here fucking contributing goals and shit. The 6 goals he scored this season, he's been involved in 4 of them. So because he's been involved in 4 of them, he is going to have that want in himself. Like, I want to shoot, I want to score. So it's normal. I've got no problem with Marcus Rashford. Did he play like shit? Absolutely. But you know who also played like shit? People don't want to, and then they want to scapegoat him? Martinez. That's why I give credit to Flawless. When he does have an opinion, he says this. Martinez has been shit the first 5 games. And it's the truth. He hasn't performed because it's very easy. And I'm saying this as a content creator, and all the 3 guys on the panel would know exactly what I'm about to say. It's very easy to come up here and go like, the reason why we lost is because McTominay is in the team. It's because just the easy fucking targets. You know, McTominay, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, blah, blah, blah. We know that.
Yeah.
Nana
I
in
had
goal.
that on Saturday night where people kept people kept trying to talk about the DMs and saying, you know, with runners, which I do hear, but at the same time, like, hold on a second. Can we talk about the defenders? Because whether you want to talk about midfielders staying with runners, which I get. If you have conceded 3 goals, you can't, every time I try and speak on how was your defense, move on to the midfielders. Please, I get it. You've made the points. You didn't do that. The other thing I was just going to say real quick on Ten Hag, where I think United should not be turning on Ten Hag yet, right? I think what he came in and did last season, right? I think you've got to give him a bit of time. He did come in. He did get Man United third, first season there. He did get them a trophy. He did get them back in the Champions League. But where he is at risk now is, if you look at the last two games, when Ten Hag got there last season, he was interviewed after games on Sky Sports, right? And that is what got my attention and got me saying, you know what, I like this manager, because he was speaking with like a manager that had a philosophy. He was speaking, all he wanted to do was talk about the football on the pitch, even to the point where when Ronaldo got brought up once, he said, we're not going to do that today. We're not going to do that today. We're going to not make this about someone else. This is about what's happened on the pitch. Now we go to the last 2 interviews he's done after games. Last week, I defended him and said, you know what? It was heat of the moment. And he mentioned that, did the whole Sancho thing, right? But it's heat of the moment and he lost his head and said it. This week, he came out and in the interview started trying to deflect, talking about Brighton's spending, right? Brighton's spending, yeah?
I was about to get on this, yeah.
That to me is a telltale sign that as a manager, the pressure is on him, right?
Thank you.
He needs to, I don't know what it is, that Fergie used to sometimes send someone else out to do the interview. If he's going to keep making these, yeah, exactly. It could be one of them moments where Ten Hag needs to, like, there is pressure on him now. I mean, someone else I heard earlier was saying, who's the pressure more on, Man United or Chelsea, and which manager? And you know what, the thing that Ten Hag has in the bank is a credit from last season, but Man United, this is not what Man United fans want to see. The pressure's on him. He needs to deal with that, or all of a sudden,
Pep Guardiola walked into your club, did he wait to get Ruben Diaz, or did he play Pep football directly? That's my problem.
He did. No, he did.
No, genuinely, that's my honest.
No,
that's an honest criticism. Play your way, bro.
I agree with you, but the biggest issue I have with him, I don't know what that is. I can't see their vision. So when people say, "Oh, you're a counter-attacking team, you're a transition team," I say we're not, because we don't have a style. That's one of my biggest criticisms of Erik ten Hag. Because I don't know what you're trying to do. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with his vision is a whole different conversation. What I'm saying is I don't know what it is. Like,
would you have preferred if Manchester United last season had started the way Husam is kind of saying, which is play your philosophy, whatever that is?
Yeah,
probably what we saw at Ajax, right? But then again, Ajax's philosophy.
That's another thing.
The thing is, Ajax's philosophy is ingrained in that club as well, and their youth system as well. So.
Because people don't do their research and don't watch Ajax like that. He created 2 teams at Ajax. The first one was the Ajax way, so to speak, where it's possession-based football and it's done. If you look at the second one, it's very much more similar to what he's doing now. It was much more transition-like. It wasn't possession-based. Go look at the footballers he had. In the midfield, I think it was Alvarez, Klassen, I think it was, and it was somebody else. People only remember the team with De Jong and the one with Donny and the one with De Ligt. Go look at the team after that. He had 2 teams at Ajax. So that's when I look at the philosophy thing. I didn't watch them like that. Someone told me this.
This is the point I was making. He started the season last year trying to play his way, got absolutely slapped up, right?
And
Brentford, Brighton. Would you prefer he carried on that way and you guys finished, say, 5th or 6th?
The reason why I don't blame him for last season. The reason why I don't blame him, I'm gonna explain. The reason why I don't blame him for last season and understand what you're dealing with the cards that you've been dealt with. So I'm cool with you doing what you have to do to solidify it, see what you can do in the first season. My biggest issue is it was Gravenberch. You now have more. It's now your team. So now you can implement whatever your philosophy makes. You spent enough money. You've given enough contracts. This is now your guys. This is your team. We need to see your imprint. I don't know what that is. And that is very telling that I can't say, we play this football or we do that. I don't know how we're going to turn up. It may be the first 15 minutes like it was against Brighton. It may be the first 4 minutes against Forest. It might be after we conceded the 2 against Forest when we played well. It might be when we played half decent and was solid against Arsenal. It could be terrible like it was against Wolves for the entire 90 minutes. I don't know. That is very telling.
But Flawless, can I disagree with you for the first time this stream? I'm actually going to disagree with you on an objective.
You disagreed with me before, but go on.
No, I said first time this stream.
No, you definitely have disagreed with him this stream.
Of course he has. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
listen.
He thinks I don't
We
hear
both-
little
we
shots.
both have, bro. We both have.
I have agreed with his assessment of Man
I hear
United.
all the little shots, you know. He thinks I don't
Flawless,
hear
I'm
them.
not giving you credit. I'm giving you
No,
credit.
no, but I'm
this is the
saying.
first time I disagree with you this stream because you have been objective about your club.
I'm
And the
always
reality
objective.
is, this is the one part I disagree with you on, okay? The one part I disagree with you on is as soon as he walked into Man United, okay? Remember the time he walked in? It was after the Ralph Rangnick Oli mess. So not just you, the entirety of the fan base was willing to give him as much fucking time to implement philosophy, to implement style of play. So even if he done that, and someone mentioned it in the chat earlier on, Pep Guardiola, when he first started, he didn't start at Man City and win the league year one. Jurgen Klopp, he didn't win the league year one. They didn't get results straight away. But this is why I spent the first 30 seconds of when I spoke about Man United just simply talking about philosophy. If you believe in a specific style of football, the results comes after.
But can I ask you, do you think it would have been wise for him to go in there and bench Ronaldo immediately?
100%. 100%. To play his philosophy. But not bench Ronaldo and then play transition football, which has nothing to do with what you're used to doing. This is the thing. So that's why I'm saying, so let's assume, right, instead of them finishing third, they finish fourth or fifth. In the long run, it makes no difference. In the short term, it might have made a difference. In the short term, meaning they play UCL football this year, fair enough, credit. But in the long run, this is a year and 5 games into the season, and he still hasn't implemented a philosophy. That's why the likes of Postecoglou comes in, and he's like, I don't give a fuck who's a player at Tottenham. I'm going to play my way. De Zerbi says, I don't give a fuck who's a player at Brighton. I'm going to play my way. Now you'll say different pressures. Manchester City, I don't give a fuck. Pep Guardiola says, I'm going to play my way. I saw Kolarov play centre-back, playing out from the back. When Liverpool, Lallana, Milner on either wing, playing high-octane football. Do you think Milner and Lallana and these guys are high-octane players? They ain't high-octane players. They ain't heavy metal players. They're not. So, but he still played his system. And that's genuinely my honest biggest criticism with Ten Hag. He has a cowardice gene in him, and he needs to grow a pair. And if he wants to fix this, he needs to identify a specific playing style and a philosophy and fucking play it, win, lose, or draw. Because let me tell you what's going to happen the next 2 games. And Matisse, I will remind you of this conversation, inshallah, next week. Against Brighton, he'll go against Bayern, he'll go and he'll park the bus and he'll play defensive football because it's Allianz Arena and blah, blah, blah. And then against Burnley, he'll do the exact opposite. Let me play offensive football. You know what a real manager who's trying to win shit long-term does? Play my style against Bayern, against Madrid, against City, against Burnley, against every fucking team. I'm going to play my way. That's how you become the best of the best.
They got Burnley next week. Let's see.
It is long term, but there's nothing wrong with adapting to set games. That's just food. Just to play your philosophy straight, regardless of his working or not, is complete foolish. He was spot on to switch it up from what he was doing in them first. Because the players he had in that first season, the players he had could not play that way, and we seen it in the first 2 games. None of this conversation was happening, and this is the overreactionary I'm talking about, people. This is a prime example. Whether it's Husam, who's a Liverpool fan, whether it's other rival fans, whether it's other Manchester United fans, there was no issue with what he did last season. I have no issue because you are dealing with the cards that you are dealt. Now, the reason why I have criticism with him now is because these are now your cards. This is now much more your team. Put your imprint on it. That's my biggest issue. I have no problem with you being pragmatic because of what we had to deal with last season. You did not have the players to play your way. So, okay, let me adapt, because there's no way we would have accepted. No way. Nobody's not accepting it. Nobody. Sam can say that he would, that's the way to go for man. No, it's not the way.
If he kept doing the same things,
if we kept on doing that and kept getting battered, he would not be here. He would not be here. Like, let's call a spade a spade. If he carried on playing the way he was playing, we would have got packed week in, week out, and he would not be here now. Let's not be disingenuous.
Remember?
Let's not be. Yeah, but again, he gave them all enough rope to hang themselves. I fucks with that.
I understand. So now
that's what he needed to do.
Play your style.
No. The third game, the reason why you don't need to play your style is because it worked. Manchester United are not in trouble because he didn't play his philosophy last season. That's not the reason we are in trouble. It's not.
Okay, can I ask you a genuine question?
The problem is, let me land before you ask me that genuine question. The problem is he's not implemented his style this season. He's not done it this season. That's the big issue. Stop talking about last season because it was a success.
Okay, can I tell you why it relates? Because I don't think you understood what I said. Let me tell you why it relates. Would you have been in a better position right now if Ten Hag implemented a philosophy, regardless of whoever the fuck was the personnel? Had he just played his style of football last season, would you be in a better position right now for new players coming in and you taking it to that next level?
You don't know because he might not have made it. He might not have made it for the season.
He would not.
No, but they wouldn't have sacked him.
We would have.
I got to ask that, right?
We would have.
If Pep comes in at Manchester City, I know you're talking about the team, collar off, but he got rid of Joe Hart immediately and got Bravo in, right?
Bravo, yeah.
If he had played Joe Hart as a goalkeeper, do you think he would have still played the same way throughout
yes.
Okay. He would have.
Pep Guardiola.
The reason why Pep the reason why Pep was successful
Pep
wasn't because
4-3-3 with Jordan.
Okay, but let's call it a spade a spade. The reason why Pep had his success in that second season that he had, I believe it was the second season,
is because he got his players.
Because they got a whole load of new players. This is the point I'm making. So what are you talking about?
But see how you just proved my point.
How?
What paved the way for that success? Pep, regardless of players, played his way year one.
He has his players now, and he's not implemented a style at all. We had a style last season. Last season. Let me flip this, Daps. If he would have stuck to the style that he played last season, we'd be better off right now. What are we talking about? We had a style last season.
Hag?
Yes. We would 110%.
We are in agreement then.
Yeah, so what we talking? Yes, but he hasn't stuck
to that. So if he played... Okay, but I'm just changing the style. I'm just saying, if he played last season offensive football, okay? Let's say he played offensive football and you're right. You had a bad season, you finished 6th. Okay, I'm not even gonna... Let me and you not exaggerate. Let's be realistic. I'm not gonna say you finished 1st and you don't say you finished 12th. Let's be realistic. Let's say 5th or 6th is cool, okay? Let's say you finished 6th.
12th is Chelsea.
Going forward into the future, because you built the foundation of playing attacking football, it would have been better for you in the long run. Because players coming in now know
if the players are not good enough.
Plays offensive football.
But you're missing is not if the players are not good enough, and that's the biggest issue. We put too much impetus and too much influence on styles. If the players are not good enough, you can play the best style in the world. The players we have and the players he's brought in are not good enough. That's what it is. Stop doing too much. Stop overcomplicating that simple matter. Doesn't matter what system you play with these players, they are not good enough. Is that someone Ten Hag? Yes, because that's some of his signings, but also the crap before him as well. None of these players, if us four right now are building a squad to go and challenge and compete to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, how many of the players have we taken? 2 or 3 at max out of a squad of 25. This team is not good enough because of the individuals, and he's added crap to more crap. So let's stop putting it on styles. I hate this philosophy talk because people do too much. You take Pep's great players away from him, we've seen his style die in the first season. He needs great players to implement his style, like every manager. No, he does. So what did they win in the first season?
Okay, but see
no. Answer the question. No. You have trouble answering questions. You have trouble answering the question. I'm not changing the argument. I'm talking about with a great
I've never
style.
Speaking about success. I'm not talking about success here.
So what we do?
By the way, there's United fans in the chat saying, I don't think Flawless understands Husam's point.
I fully understand
about success. I'm not.
Because we're doing too much. Because we do too much. Because that's what football's played for.
Okay, hear me out so you'll understand me. I'm genuinely not talking about success here. That's why when I said imagine you finish 6th, I'm not talking about you having a successful season with it. This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. Pep Guardiola walked into Manchester City, even with the players that weren't able to play Pep football, Pep still played Pep football. Klopp walked into Liverpool, even with the players that weren't able to play Klopp football, he still played Klopp football. Did that result in success short term? No. But long term is where you will earn the benefits of it. Because when you have implemented a foundation of a playing style, now it makes it clear. So what you're basically saying is, no problem had he doing what he did last season. Now he had his players. Let him start implementing his philosophy now.
You're agreeing with each other, kind of, but
the simple response is, you're going to waste another year then, just trying to implement philosophy.
Flawless. I think the way of looking at it, that's a good way of looking at it, right, is that you're right, yeah. So first season, Pep had his philosophy. This is where both of you are right. First season, Pep had his philosophy, didn't have the right players, and that led to short term. We didn't win anything. Last season, all right. He had his style first 2 games. You lost. He changed his style, and you got to third, and you got a Carabao Cup.
We had
successful.
We had successful season.
First season, right? But he changed his philosophy, right? Now maybe he's gone and bought players, and I think the perfect example is he's gone and bought Onana, right? Which is a player that suits his philosophy, yeah? Now, if he'd stayed with his philosophy and was still staying with his philosophy, then it's like, okay, this is starting to make sense and it could start cook. But it's like, oh, so now you're buying players for your old philosophy that you're no longer using because you want to go short term, which will then mean that long term it's not going to be successful. Whereas Pep stayed with it, brought the players to suit it, and then boom, there we go. We go forward.
That, but no, the reason why I disagree with that because we don't know what his style is. We don't know what that is. No, again.
If you buy Onana, I've got a rough idea of what his style might be.
Again, but no. Buying Onana and buying Mount makes no sense. This is back to my point about quality of players and us not doing enough.
Even if you take a look at
Mount's a valid point.
Onana in the Champions League final, he hit it long quite a lot.
Yeah, Onana and Mount.
He might want to just go. He might want to go.
Onana and Mount do not mix in terms of philosophy. This is the point that I'm making. There is the reason why we can't.
No, that's the point I'm making.
The point that I've said this from the jump.
Just Ten Hag is a coward and he's confused with what the fuck he's doing.
Yo, he is. I do agree with 110%, but also the quality of players.
Something. That's all I'm saying. Stick to a fucking.
And I agree with you on that. I'm not disputing that. The point that I'm making is even if he stuck to something, these players are not good enough to implement any style. That's the point I'm making. That's why I hate this whole argument.
I have no problem.
That's what I said just before.
Personnel is a problem. Personnel is a
huge problem.
Yeah, massive
problem. And him not
I've got what to do. That is a genuine argument. I've got you are 100% right in that element. But where Ten Hag deserves blame is from this moment onwards. Okay, if he's a serious manager and he wants to fix the football club, just play your fucking way until the end of the season. Whatever happens. That's it. Simple.
And you know what? That takes a bit of pressure off because then all of a sudden we wouldn't be here having a debate about Ten Hag if it was a case that he was playing his philosophy. And it's quite clear because I think through the summer it's clear by the fact that you're trying to loan players, multiple players, and whatever tells me that this is a club issue. This is a personnel issue because the club are not willing to put their money where their mouth is at the moment, right? And then if he was playing his philosophy, we'd all be looking at it going, it's so clear to see he doesn't have the personnel. But now it's become a conversation and it's putting pressure on him because he is bringing, and I'll say it, he's at Manchester United. And maybe, just maybe, this is where Ten Hag, however much of a great philosopher and great manager he could be, he was at Ajax. They're not Manchester United. Right now, he's got pressure that he's never known before, and he's giving into it. And he's doing things.
He is crumbling.
He's causing himself pressure. He is.
Listen, it's a sick debate, but we only got 20.
A1 content, man. You're welcome.
20. Yeah, I know, but I gotta eat.
I'm gonna do my Husam thing.
That's gonna be 2 hours long.
Well, make sure you don't rush it as well, because you've got to have some what's it called? That word you to use.
The chat are saying
decorum.
Decorum.
Chat are saying,
speaking of decorum, I think we actually
Can I talk?
Can you guys hear Matisse?
Can I talk?
People, let us know in the chat. Can you talk?
The chat are saying, can we talk about Chelsea next? This show is Battle of the North. I want to talk about Liverpool when they win. I want to talk about Man City when they win. We spent an hour and 8 minutes. Great debate. Loved it. But we spent an hour and 8 minutes on Manchester United. So whether you want to talk about Chelsea or not in the chat, listen, it's not. We could talk about that on Big Six. Talk about that every other day on this channel. But we ain't gonna have time for Chelsea talk when we speak about Man United for an hour. And you guys, you know that as panelists. So don't get at me and start saying, "Oh, you bottled it." We only have
you've just lined this up perfectly now.
No, I did it.
Sorry, guys. I really can't speak on Chelsea now.
I've tried to interject. You guys are having a great debate.
Can you give us 30 seconds each?
It was a good debate.
You want to talk about Liverpool 30 seconds when
no, Chelsea 30 seconds.
No, we're not wasting any more time.
There you are.
I've got to go through super touch. I'm not going to let you just rinse. Because
this is how you know he's done. He just said super touch.
Stop talking over me, bro. Listen, please. Listen to me. Because you lot are not listening, bro.
Where's
we're
your
not gonna cuss. Listen to me. We're not gonna cuss Chelsea for 30 seconds and have no context and talk about the thing in detail just so you guys can have a little bash off and an adrenaline rush, right? I want to talk about it. If you're gonna talk about it, you're gonna talk about it properly. We don't have time. We do not have time. We don't have time. We don't have time.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
People like it or not, we don't have time. And it's not my fault we don't have time. You guys love debating about Man United. It's not my business.
Big up Miss Jackson, man.
Jesus Christ.
There's a poor kid in the bottom of the cloud.
And then I'm the bad host. Flawless, do you hear this? Flawless, do you see how difficult it is to host this show? There is no other show that I host. I'm talking and man, them are talking over me and then they're telling me, why didn't you do it this way? Shut up, bro.
Are you not entertained?
No, stop.
Are you not entertained?
What are you telling me? I'm the one. I'm the problem. I'm trying to do the thing.
You need to hold a yellow. You've told your guests about 4 times to shut up now. You need to hold your...
Do you know
what? I don't need to be spoken to like this.
No, because you lot are mad. I'm trying to lay the thing. And you lot are telling me I'm the problem.
Why did you remove Daps?
I didn't remove him. He kicked himself out. He's gone. You want me to take a picture? I'm the problem.
Hey,
let me talk. God damn, how am I going to host if you don't let me talk? Shit. Flawless, these people are crazy. Flawless, these people are crazy.
And we just had a great debate.
Move, man.
And we just had a great debate as well. I hope the chat enjoyed it.
Now I'm gonna catch heat in the chat. They're gonna be like, "You bottle Joe, you talk about Chelsea. What do you want from me? Look at the time. But yeah, blow the whistle, fam. These men are crazy, man. Look, I'm gonna be getting me cooked. I don't know. I thought that's what come back for a second. Flawless, are you?
No, that was 2022 Daps.
Flawless, are you registering a complaint against Pep for laughing at United? That's human rights violation, isn't it?
Nah, we deserve. We
no,
because you don't want him to get demonetized. Now we deserve to get laughed at.
No, you don't get demonetized from press conferences.
If Pep's all right, cool, you run it then, innit? He's gonna trust you. But yeah, as I was saying,
I just played it in my earlier on video.
Okay, cool.
Hold on a second. Are we going to act like last week Matisse didn't play 2 minutes of goals by?
He played 2 minutes of actual football
by Emil Heskey.
Super chat, just in regards to the super
he's
chat.
doing the whole "I love United" thing.
Who's doing the whole? Yeah, kind of respond to the super chat. Yo, Pep, like we are laughing stock right now. I'm not going to defend these lot, especially after that game.
If you're a man, play it, Matisse.
Absolutely not. I thought we done the United segment. These lot love talking about United, you know.
Man. Let me go. See, it's what I'm saying. There's no order. There's no order, bro.
You're not gonna respect the guy paying his hard-earned money so you can play the video. That's great.
Flawless. That's sorry. Yeah.
I can send it to you as well if you like.
LJ Brown, Flawless. Remember what I said on Ranks' stream? I'm not sure.
Yo, there's no time for it. I remember what he's. I remember what he said.
Anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you seriously start reading books during Chelsea match watch? I did start reading. There's a book up there that has chapters and instructions and a manual on what Pochettino is meant to be trying to implement. So I was going through the manual, trying to think of a solution as to what the hell was going on against Bournemouth. That's you blind fool, and Husam will translate the rest. My brother, what's going on here?
ذكره بأنه نادي صغير. Remind him he's a small club.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely tiny club, bro. We're a tiny club. That makes all of your clubs a fucking laughing stock. Carry on. And as for being blind, yeah, cheers, bro.
I'm blind as well, so I take great offense to that. So does Husam. Husam's blind as well, bro. There's 3 blind people here.
I don't, because he's just paid us to tell us that. So, you know, if someone wants to come up and say something to my face and hand me a tenner, no problem. I'll take that money and then thump you in the face. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
That's a big unit as well. You don't want to take a lump off that. I'm telling you.
Right I'm not as little as I look on it, by the way. I just slouch a bit.
I think I don't talk too much about City.
How tall are you?
That's might see me. I'm like, that's
about 6'1".
Yeah, that's might see me. I don't want that smoke.
Okay, fair enough.
I just slump. I sit like this a lot. I don't know.
It's always a challenge for Flawless, this one. I've got man threatening violence. Got beat people up. We've got Husam.
I'm standing up for every single man that wears glasses. Anyone with eyesight, I think that's really rude. And anyone watching this, listen, do your thing if you have bad eyesight. Horrible person.
Matisse is the only one on the stream who's 5 foot.
United will not
Matisse
allow
is
any
surprisingly
managers
tall
to
as well,
change
you know.
this.
Here's the
Matisse
thing is,
isn't short.
I'm actually quite tall, yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
Matisse is
I'm gonna
Ain't no
leave,
way
I'm gonna leave
Matisse
Big Cherry
is
alone.
for 6. I don't believe it.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna leave Big Cherry alone. When he comes to England,
nah,
he said
Matisse
he's
is
gonna
tall.
come to England.
Matisse is tall. No,
He said he's going to come to England. We'll stand alongside each other and we'll see.
I mean, there's certain other Chelsea content creators who are a little smaller, but you know, I won't name them.
That is a dig for Lewis. Let's just be honest.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, Lewis isn't the tallest. It wasn't. But Lewis is a little.
Calling you a midget.
Lewis is too nice. Lewis isn't tall. Lewis is and Lewis is way too nice for Diggs. Lewis is my guy.
It wasn't just me that thought that.
That was not on Lewis.
You know what the crazy part is? Lewis is not even. Lewis has
Kings,
height.
man.
Well, shout out Lewis, but to LJ
Lewis.
who said that about United won't allow managers to change system. That's not correct. I'm saying because Van Gaal played possession-based football. What are we talking about? I'm saying Ollie played a different brand of football to Van Gaal. What are we doing with Ten Hag? We don't know what. I don't know what he's trying to implement. Implement a style. That's what I need you to do. I wish he would have just carried on with what he did last year. He should have built on that because it worked. So I don't get why you've gone away from something that worked last season. It was working.
The answer to this question as well is the summer, the transfer window is just closed. So currently, yeah, we're probably not going to come on here and say the great players that De Zerbi has. But when the transfer window opens in January and people can buy players off of Brighton again, there'll probably be a few great players that we just didn't know about.
In regards to what great players does De Zerbi have, this is why he gets mixed results. This is why they're not favourites for top 6. You know what I'm saying, and the microscope at Manchester United is much different to the one at Brighton. When we beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 and they lost 3-1 at home to West Ham, Manchester United received more criticism for winning a game than Brighton did for losing it. People need to stop this in regards to this. De Zerbi is a very, very good manager, but he is very, very much flavour of the month and people doing too much. Because what has he done in the world of football? And I rate him as a manager, but let's see him develop and see what he does. Because guaranteed, if Manchester United got beat 5-1 by a relegation battle in Everton, which kickstarted them staying in the league, people would still talk about it now on their home patch. But people don't want to talk about De Zerbi's bad results. Same way if they lose. Like, let's stop this. If they lose,
there's a lot of intangibles.
Relax.
There's a lot of intangibles, even though we shouldn't still be talking about this, but there's a lot of intangibles and factors that play a part in managing a big. There's a lot of intangibles that come with managing a big club, which we've seen Graham Potter struggle with, Ten Hag had to deal with, that De Zerbi's not dealing with, right?
Yes.
So these things all play a factor. It's very cool to just say, oh, we're going to coach and we're going to play, but there's many things that go into football more than just what you see on the pitch. And De Zerbi, like you have said, has not shown anything at a top club as of yet. And he's doing great things, don't get me wrong, at Brighton, but there's still levels to this game. There's still a lot more things he has to show and prove when he goes up.
And just to clarify, because Sam just said personnel don't matter. Yes, personnel when you are trying to compete at the highest level does matter. Because there's no manager that's won a Premier League with terrible players. Not one.
I've explained it 4 times and Flawless still doesn't get it, so let's just agree.
No. But what I just said is I fully understand what you're saying. We will have to agree to disagree. But what you just said is wrong. Personnel doesn't matter. That's an incorrect statement.
Personnel doesn't matter, not in terms of success, in terms of philosophy.
Okay, that's cool. Philosophy, all
long
good.
term,
I'm talking
it
about
will
success.
be better for you. You
don't know. You're a Liverpool fan. You don't know anything about long-term success. So here we are. You know what I'm saying? Talking about things you don't know about, innit? That's
now
a
Matisse
fact.
is gonna laugh.
You've never, the fact that
he's done all
why every time I talk facts about your club, you don't like it? You speak on my club, man, just like cool.
No, I'm laughing.
When I talk about Liverpool, it's cool.
I'm laughing because you are about to cuss me at the end of this show saying that we didn't talk about Chelsea and I was a shit host. I want you to watch back these shows and tell me what you want me to do as a host to make this thing tick quicker. For we to get to the Man City section, because this is the Man United show today. And
I'm making a solid footballing point, and the response is
you want to argue with Flawless for an hour? Listen, it's not a problem. But I'm just telling you, there's consequences.
It was good content, though. It was good content, right?
It is great content. There's consequences to your actions. So please do not get at me.
Answer that a 15-year-old would make.
Carry on. But just again talking about. But when I say that, that's factuals. You know what I'm saying? No Liverpool fan who's 90s,
I'm not even gonna respond.
Don't respond. That's cool. So I'm just clarifying in it. For any Liverpool fan who's a 90s baby, don't tell me about long-term success because you've never seen it. Stop. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of Liverpool fans like Husam talking like they've done anything of note. You won 1 league title and 2 Champions Leagues in 35 years. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop. You know what I'm saying? Please, like, that's all I'm talking about. And to regard to that super chat where he said Ten Hag's changing his playing style based off the opposition, I have no issue with that. occasionally. I have no issue with altering your... Of course, you should have your fundamentals, but he's not implementing anything. My biggest issue with him is him not kicking on from last season. He should have stuck with that. Stick with that formation. Stick with that style. Or if you're not, switch up and play possession-based football. But then your signings have to make sense, which they don't. So that's my biggest issue. All this philosophy is personnel. I'm talking success. I don't care about philosophy. I want success.
Which one of your
long-term success, though, right? Long-term success.
Which one of your
ideally, yes. Ideally, yes, but I take short-term.
When Ten Hag gets sacked, you'll revisit this conversation.
Ideally, sorry, Matisse, but ideally, yes, I would prefer long-term success. But short-term, I would take right now. We had it last season. I was over the moon about it. It's the first success we've had in a long time. That's what it is. And if Ten Hag gets sacked because he don't pick a style, that's on him. We move on. You know what I'm saying? You're a Liverpool man. You know about managers getting sacked.
Which one of the clubs at the bottom want to speak on their club today? I mean, how would you like to apportion the minutes?
Now, do you know what? Let's go with the fact that I know... I want to speak about trophies. I want to speak about trophies at the end of the season. So I'm here to banter other clubs until then.
Okay, so we don't want to talk about Man City.
You know what? But listen, I'm more than happy to.
I just don't want to do it injustice to you.
Because we get the justice at the end of every season.
Okay.
We have our moment. Liverpool ain't getting no moment at the end of the season. So let them talk today, innit?
Oh shit!
Hey, change this to the Manchester United show. That's
Liverpool
what this
can
is.
get moment this season because we can win a domestic trophy or we can win a Europa League. So we will have.
Okay, you can have that moment. You can hold that moment as well.
Talk to us, Husam, about your club. Talk to me about your result because I watched your game as well. It was another game where
that was the day you did the 7-hour watch along.
Yeah, bro. I watched everybody's.
Honestly, kudos to you, man. Kudos to Matisse. That's why I big him up, despite listen, him sucking off Man United. I always big him up because this guy is a hard worker. Honestly, that's why I tell you guys to like the video and subscribe. So you need to support this man right here. So please like and subscribe right now. Yo, this guy did a 7-hour fucking watch along, and then he ended it with a Milan derby. The one thing I will say is, to be fair to him, the 3 games he chose did give him plenty of goals. The day after, he got bamboozled, but the first day, he got so many goals. He got a 3-1, and then he got another 3-1, and then he got a 5-1 in the Milan derby. So you had plenty of goals to talk about, to be fair. Anyway,
did the Milan one as well. God damn.
5-1, unbelievable. Anyway, with Liverpool, look, it was a game of 2 halves, 100%. First half, we were absolutely dreadful. No need to just sit up here and, and this is the reason why I've been cautious about this season, is the whole defensive situation. I told you guys it's not just a Trent thing or a Robertson thing or a blah, blah, blah. It's a systematic thing at that defense. And I think we actually changed the way we play in the second half. Systematically, we changed things around. We attacked a bit more down the middle instead of us attacking on the wings. We stopped inverting Joe Gomez. I don't know who the fuck put some Class A drug in Jurgen Klopp's coffee that morning to invert Joe Gomez. I have no idea what the fuck he was doing. Listen, the only fullback in our whole squad who can invert is Trent. Ain't no other guy in the whole team who can invert.
Maybe I'm wrong, right? Was it not Gomez hanging out wide and Robertson was tucked in? I was like, why?
No. It was Gomez inverting. But
Robertson wasn't really getting forward in the first half. I was like, why?
Gomez inverted, my brother. Genuinely, Gomez inverted. If you focused on it, Joe Gomez was fucking inverting. So I don't know what the hell drug Klopp was smoking. And in the second half, he kind of changed it around and how it should be. He told Gomez, listen, you're a shit center back. That's why you're right back. So just stay over there. Let's not do this invert crap. And let's just play Liverpool different type of football. Substitutions changed the game positively. And for me, the 3 standouts were Kwanzaa, who's a young centre-back coming in, putting on a solid performance at centre-back. So massive credit to him, because when a young centre-back, I think centre-back is one of those positions on the pitch where there's massive pressure on you. So when as a young centre-back, you come in and you kill it and you perform at that level, you have to give massive credit to the guy. So massive credit to me goes to Kwanzaa. Robertson turned it around. Robertson in the second half,
he was brilliant.
Was 19-20 Robertson.
Yeah.
First half, he was 21-22 Robertson. So it was 2 completely different things. And the guy that for me gets the most credit is, of course, Mo Salah. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, one of the guys, few guys on Twitter still trying to run Salah agendas. I just replied to him listen, Salah agenda in 2023 is just boring because the guy's been doing it consistently delivering. And the one thing, and this is why whenever you guys kept asking me about selling Mo Salah and from a business perspective, I said we can't replace what he offers on the pitch. And it's things like this that I talk about, because world-class players, they win you games. I've always said, you take that Arsenal team from last season, you put Alisson in goal instead of Ramsdale, you put Mo Salah right wing instead of Saka, and they're sat here Premier League winners, because world-class players give you moments in games. The 3 passes he played, the Elliott one, of course, was just a layoff. I'm aware of that. But the one to Robertson, unbelievable pass. And the one before that as well to Gakpo, unbelievable pass. And he ended up giving us those 3 moments. So Mo Salah, for me, this season has been just showing the different kind of sides to him, which is his playmaking side this season. And he has been creating the most chances for us, actually, in the whole team, even when Trent was fit. I can recall just in the last game against Aston Villa, he created Nunez alone 3 goal-scoring opportunities. So we're seeing a different side of Mo Salah. And I think going forward this season, from a Liverpool perspective, this Thursday, everything will be clear to me where Klopp's head is at. And what I mean by that is the starting 11 against Last Cleanse is where I know what the fuck Klopp is thinking. Because this Thursday, if I see Ben Doku, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and Endo, players like that, French players and youngsters, I know Jurgen is saying, fuck this Europa League thing. He ain't taking it seriously, in the group stages at least. So I know the direction he's heading in. But if he's playing starters and shit, I know he's taking that competition seriously. So this Thursday, inshallah, we'll find out more. But look, what I said at the start of the season, I stick by it. We are in a title race. We will challenge. But I do believe due to lack of squad depth, we will probably be the first team to fall off. So yeah,
do you not think that your B team should be able to do the job on Thursday though? Even if you want to win that competition.
Different topic. That's B teams on Thursdays. I trust that. I'm saying B teams on a Sunday or a Saturday is where I have a problem.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't advise that. I think you guys against Lass, I've never heard of this team, no disrespect. You should be able to handle business with your
Austrian champions, you disrespectful bastard.
I said no disrespect. I've heard of some Austrian teams, but just not this one. Salzburg, do you know what I'm saying? Rapid Vienna.
The other team we have in our group, the Belgian team, Gilwaz, it's actually a type of cigarette in Jordan.
Okay. I want to ask you though, like, obviously we know you guys have got options off the bench. The goals can come on. Nunez, Diaz, they made massive differences, right? These guys come on, change the game. Salah's going to probably maybe look to break that assist record, you know, the way he's going, because he did it against Newcastle as well. Some of his passes in behind, like he's really taking responsibility, saying, I'm going to drop a bit deeper and get in the pockets and I'm going to feed. What, because I watched the game. Wolves were really good in the first half. What was wrong for you in a Liverpool perspective? Because you must have been kicking off. I never at any point thought, let me ring you and, you know, piss you. I said, let me leave him today. But you must have been like, whoa, what's going on here? Because they could have been 2-3-0 up.
I wanted to call you after the Jackson miss, but I always want to give you elite content for some reason, my Snapchat notifications are
I don't use Snapchat.
Grow up there, man. Turn them on. Anyway, so first half was dreadful. It was dreadful from mainly defensively. McAllister was still in Bolivia, I'm going to be honest with you. And this is why when we signed Endo, alhamdulillah, I'm not a drug dealer like so many Liverpool content creators. I did not sell Endo copium. I was sat here and I said this signing is a shit signing. And I said this guy won't work. The fact that McAllister was on Bolivia 30 hours before the game, and somehow he still preferred to play him over fucking Endo, shows me that Klopp is probably seeing this guy in training and going like, what the fuck have I done?
Do you think it might be like slow integration though? Because he's done that with some of his signings before.
Hey, I don't know, brother. I'm watching. I watched Endo twice this season. I'm like, yo, ain't no pace, ain't no power, ain't nothing special over here. I have no idea why the fuck we bought this guy in. So that's the worrying part for me, maybe going forward. Look, my problem has always been depth. From Matisse's first question in the summer till today, the answer is the same. The problem is the depth for us. Now, I have no... Look, I think our starting 11 is better than Arsenal. I think our forward line overall, if I look at it in terms of depth, I'd say it's probably the best in the league overall, like 1 through 6, the 6 options we have. But then the rest is where the problems lie. So God forbid Szoboszlai gets injured, Curtis Jones, here we go again. McAllister, God forbid, gets injured, Harvey Elliott, here we go again. Centre back, you saw who played this Saturday. There was no reason for us to speculate. Who played? Matip, Kwanzaa. That's our fucking options. So I have a right to be worried because I don't live in utopia in which there are no injuries. So yeah, that's probably my 2 pence on the game.
Did Germany not play? Did they play Japan over the international break?
Brother, Hansi Flick got sacked, and the man.
Some people are saying Endo played well, so
anyway.
maybe too early to give up, bro. Might have something for you in the second half of the season.
Okay, Matisse.
I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic.
When you and all the copium dealers agree with me in May, I will remind you of this moment.
I'm not saying it's a good signing because I don't know him, and I think you needed a Paulinho, someone proven like that. We know exactly what to get week in, week out. However,
even
I'm just
Edson Alvarez, someone like that even.
But I'm just saying, we just went through Brighton's team, right? We spoke about not really having big names and the system, and that's what you were pushing, right? So if
Klopp played his philosophy.
Yeah, so maybe Endo might be able to fit into that at some point.
Maybe that's because he's not
the time to acclimatize. Because a lot of the time I see Klopp bringing in these players, and he doesn't always throw them straight in. He gives them a couple of months to settle, and then he puts them in later. So I'm just saying, at some point you might see Endo in this team. He might.
How much you want to bet that Endo is not going to be a starter?
I don't want to bet shit because I don't know who this man is.
Exactly. So trust my judgment. Since you met me,
all right. But did you watch Endo? You didn't watch Endo last season.
Okay,
you didn't watch Japan over the international break. You're doing this because you're angry about the Lavia Caicedo thing. I've seen you on Twitter. You're very angry. You're a very angry man right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Can I ask you a genuine question? Do you think Caicedo and Lavia are angry right now, and they're thinking I should have joined the proper club?
Well, Lavia's injured, and I think he's thinking I need to get better to help my team, before he starts passing judgment. Okay. And I think Caicedo also needs to get fit as well.
Per usual. Let's get back to the real thing. since you've met me, maybe I've been crazy about other clubs, but with my club, I'm usually spot on. I usually understand.
You're crazy about other clubs.
This Endo guy, listen, he's just not it. With Szoboszlai, I will praise. Bro, Szoboszlai, this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Second half, if you guys notice, my man played DM.
He
dropped DM. He was actually our DM in the game was Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
And he dictated fucking everything. Mm-hmm. This is a player that us FIFA bedwetting virgin bottom reds who has never been to Anfield want to sign for the club. Others wanted Mason Mount. I was fighting my own fan base, and I said, let's go get Szoboszlai, and people didn't want to listen. And that's why you need to listen to Husam more instead of fill in the blank. So that's the thing. So that's the thing for me. I actually found out something mad. Last season at Leipzig, Szoboszlai played right wing. And Klopp's playing him like 8 and DM, and he's playing unbelievable. Look, Szoboszlai has this. And for me, when I watch a midfielder and he has this, automatically I know he's it. So yeah, that's the thing for me. Look, we go on and on and on. I'm not this right now as things stand, very happy with the team. But my only problem is injuries, shit like that. That's when it's a problem.
Let me go through these super chats before I see what Daps wants to bring with maybe a little segment on City, 30 seconds, give him a little something. I don't know.
If you want to. Up to you, bro. Up to you.
I feel like Doku deserves a little bit of credit. I don't know. Yeah,
he does. He does.
When we said you must, we didn't mean play musty football. Oh, thank you. What's going on, Matisse, bro? Talk to me about Nicholas Nicky Jacksawai and Fred.
That's a fire name.
Okay.
That's a fire
I see 20, you're on it. Save it for the big 6. We'll be there in 20 minutes, brother.
Hey, Jacksawai.
Is it 9 o'clock start then?
Yeah, 9 o'clock start. Yeah.
Jacksawai is a fire slander name.
Yeah. Wilson says you guys gave to put it on mind that no manager has survived at Man United after not making top 4. Plus, we have financial obligations based on making top 4.
And I add on to this, even outside of the financial obligations, quickly is no Manchester United fan, or not many, I should say, the vast majority and media and rival fans is accepting us getting poor results because the manager's implemented his philosophy. Absolute nonsense. Because Van Gaal's philosophy was implemented. And because the results was bad, everybody kicked off about it. He got poor results. We went to Anfield, dominated, won. You know what I'm saying? Dominated possession. Never seen us do that ever before. When Juan Mata turned Anfield into one field. But because we was drawing so many games, it tells you all you need to know. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
People are saying I have 20 minutes to talk about Chelsea. No, I have 20 minutes to have food. We are not robots here. We need food to survive.
Although I've been being sent videos of robots today, They're really coming in. They don't
want us to eat. They think we're gonna run on to Big 6, a 2-hour show with no food in our stomachs. Would you? And then
your club don't want to eat by the looks of it, bro.
God damn, you lot are crazy, You lot are actually vicious. Husam, what are you putting up there, brother? What was that?
It's the Jackson thing, innit?
What do you mean? I love how you act like you don't know what the fuck. You know what the fuck I played, brother.
Brother, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea what you're doing. Love and guidance and whatnot. That's listen. I'm not getting copyright strike, bro. Take that down. You're gonna get me copyright. Right, stop that shit, man. God damn.
There's no copyright when it's on a camera on a phone.
Right, I'm taking that risk, man. I'm taking that risk.
You took the risk last week. You played 10 minutes of goals.
No, there's something fishy with that. I think
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
No, I think what happened there, I was reading the Heskey clip. And the reason why I thought about this afterwards, how comfortable he was with playing that so quickly. I think that was a plan. I think he knew where he was going. The whole show, I think he had that ready.
Yes, fact.
I called him a pacey Heskey.
I didn't.
You had it like that. It was way too quick. The way you pulled it up and the way you were so confident about, no, we're not getting. I thought, he's
and Daps,
smart.
you know, Matisse is a nerd like that as well. So.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Some would say nerd. Some would say he's working behind the scenes to give the best possible quality show that he can bring.
AKA nerd.
He's a nerd. Yeah, confirmed.
Make sure they give Doku the respect he deserves on the Big Six. Don't let them gloss over City like that. Have been, bro.
Now we can talk on Doku. City, we can talk on Doku.
Yeah, bro. You have 5 wins out of 5, and I remember when under Tuchel we were top of the league and no one wanted to talk about us because it was boring. We were winning games. And then as soon as it got to Christmas, and we were shit, everyone was like, "Oh, now we have to talk." I'm like, when a team are winning 5 games out of the first 5, it's got to get little love. Surely,
nah, don't fuck him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, Tottenham. I was on at the end of the show on Saturday on Never a Foul. He was on Tottenham fan, and he was saying, "Daps, you need to keep an eye out for us." And I was like, "Bro, you've been top in September, October, November, December before." The difference is with City is this is like the real bit where this is worrying for everyone else. Is you lot might remember last season where you lot at the start of the season were doing this whole City going to run away with the league, and I was saying, why are you doing this? Like, it's not going to be that. I was even saying, I think we might. I'm telling you now, we're doing a 4-peat this season. Like, I already know we're doing a 4-peat this season. It's because no one's speaking on the fact, and on a show again the other day, we did during the boring international break, a kind of bit where we did on everyone's season so far. And I just said, well, really, you lot asked me questions. And everyone was like silent. I go, see, you haven't got the questions that you asked me all summer. How are we gonna get over not having Gundogan? Mahrez, where are the goals gonna come? Now we don't have Mahrez. Oh, does this City team have the mentality to go again? All these questions you had for me, you don't want to ask me them no more. 5 games in and you don't want to ask me them no more. And the truth is no one does want to answer me, because here's another one.
It was copium. De
Bruyne was injured. Oh my God, what's going to happen with De Bruyne being injured? Now no one is even mentioning Kevin De Bruyne being injured, and the fact that in January De Bruyne comes back. Right? No one is before the season. Matisse, you did this. Oh, Foden must have a good season. Foden this, Foden that. Now Foden is there still. It frustrates me a little bit that unfortunately Foden is still being shoehorned in, right? I'm done with seeing Foden playing on wing for me, because
Foden's had a couple of good games though, right? In the central position.
And now no one wants and now that he's doing that, even he came off the bench unwell and influenced the game, right? But now that Foden's doing that, no one wants to talk on Foden.
I want to talk on Foden. I would love to.
For me, the one to talk on for me is Doku, because of the fact that this is just another tool in Pep's toolbox, right? And there's two reasons. Firstly, from a style of play, there was this one moment where the ball was going down the left. Imagine it's Grealish on the left, and Doku did something similar to Grealish. He stopped, put his foot on the ball, and brought the ball back kind of into the middle to recycle and move it to the right. And the whole West Ham team, we know the score with City. They're recycling. They're going to switch it. But it's like City said, no, we're not doing that because we got a fast winger now. When everyone shifted, Doku put the burners on and the ball got placed back to him. It's a different thing. Leroy Sané vibes. You're going back 4 years now. But the other thing is, sometimes when you are a possession-based team and you're a game-going fan, right, it can get a bit, and Arsenal will have this season, probably had it against Everton. It can get a bit frustrating when it's just retention, trust the system, opportunities will pop up. And the crowd can get a bit kind of quieter. If you've got a player like Doku he just lifts the whole crowd. Give him the ball, instantly everyone's off their feet because he's making run, and it lifts the whole atmosphere. That's what happened at West beginning of the second half. I reckon about 100 City fans saw that goal. The rest of us were still getting a drink and finishing off our drink, complaining about how we weren't sure if we were going to win that game. Doku goes and scores, and from there we just did what City do and moved up to third gear, probably third gear. I reckon.
With this thing with Doku, right? Is this then Pep changing his instructions and saying, Doku, you go and do you, or is that Grealish not being able to do it? And because I'm confused.
Well, there's other reasons, to be fair. I mean, Grealish is injured at the moment.
Because like Grealish was criticised a lot for not doing what we saw Doku do. And I don't.
Grealish went Creamfields, right? Grealish went Creamfields. Grealish is while Pep was away. Pep's got back and Pep's found out. And Grealish is injured at the moment.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Anyway.
Ten Hag, take notes. That's what you do. You don't tell the people he's at
and here's the beauty. Here's the beauty. It's just been it's just been swept under because you know what? It can be. But I think this is the thing. I hope that this season we see a lot of Grealish and Doku because they're different types of players. I think Doku on the right looks good to me. But now we've got Walker that all of a sudden Walker's looking good down the right. Walker's getting further forward, putting the burners on, putting crosses in the box all of a sudden. So that's working as well. And I think, like I said, I don't think City going to change the way we play. But Pep did speak about Doku look like a winger, and it's great that we have that option to have someone that can come on and look like a winger. Doesn't mean Pep's going forget this ball retention stuff no more. It's just another weapon. And that's what we have. You have to have these weapons because everyone knows how City play. And that's why Arsenal, I think Trossard's so important to Arsenal that when Saka's not stepping up, you need someone else to come in and offer something slightly different. And I think that's exactly what Doku is. And he excites us all, man. He excites us all. So, yeah, we put the overexcited West Ham back in their box for a little while. And and we move on. We got Forest next week.
And you'll win now as well. So, yeah.
We will.
Are you at home?
Home, yeah. So, you know what? This weekend was lovely. It was the cheapest game I've been to for a long time because it was like just a train down to London and not having to go all the way up to Manny and whatever. So, yeah, it was good. Good 3 points. And we got Red Star Belgrade we got tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Red
Light work. Yeah, peak. All right, we're gonna wrap up, people. Flawless. Let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, man. Big up for having me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Daps, shout out Husam. Large up the chat as always. Make sure you hit the like button on this video though. Make sure you hit the like button right here.
Thank you.
Subscribe. You know what I'm saying, to Matisse's channel. Make sure you subscribe to Daps Never a Foul. Make sure you subscribe to Husam. This is Football with me. That's me, Flawless people. On Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me across all socials. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Sarcasm City TV. Make sure you do though. Recently just went over 8,000 subscribers, so make sure subscribe and go follow us on Kick as well. Much appreciated, Sam. Follow us on Kick as well. New platform we're on where you're gonna get more Sarcasm City TV content. But yeah, Sarcasm City TV on YouTube and on Kick.
There you go, guys. Big up. Link is in the description. Let me get before Husam starts cussing as well because I
wanted it to happen for Flawless as well, bro. See this?
Yeah,
sorry. That's me, Flawless there, people. Sarcasm City TV there.
I'm just exhausted, Husam. I'm sorry. Husam, let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure.
I was exhausted after watching your game too. I went to sleep. You can find me on YouTube at This Is Football right here. It was the best snap all year long, honestly. At This Is Football, that's my YouTube. The infamous spaces he keeps talking about at the Don Husam. We actually got one running right now. They're having a whole Rashford argument, so I can't wait to get stuck into that as well. So big up to you guys. And since he doesn't want to talk about Chelsea, I'm going to talk about Chelsea tonight. 11 p.m. Inshallah, I've got A-listers coming up. And speaking of short Chelsea content creators, Lewis is coming on as well. And he's going to have to answer for his club's crimes. So stay tuned for that as well. And big up Matisse. Big up the 7-hour watch-alongs. Genuinely big up to him for doing that. I have no idea how his ass wasn't tattooed on the chair after that. But yeah, big up to you guys. Make sure you're liking this video. How many times we have to tell you, the effing video so it sends it to more effing people? And hit subscribe on Matisse's channel. Yahi, every time I have to tell you. Yahi, get the likes. Yahi, we have 2,000 people watching, only 500 likes.
What?
Yahi, like it's free. Hit the like button right now.
We only got 500 likes and it's over 2. Hey, you lot, make us trend, man. So then we can get that
respectful,
big
man.
sponsorship and we can do these live shows, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
love
trying to
the
get
way
that
his
sponsorship money.
would just cuss because I couldn't. I'll always leave it to Husam. He does it better than I. That's let the people know to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, people, please, I'm asking you nicely, hit the like button. You lot all support Matisse. You're big fans, big Chelsea fans, a lot of you. You're Matisse fans. The best way to be a fan of Matisse is to help his channel just by hitting the like button. And like when people as well go, oh, you shouldn't have to like for likes. Listen, if I watch KSI, if I watch with my daughter SS Sniper Wolf, if I watch these people making millions telling people to like the video, our measly channels, yeah. We are going to tell you to like the damn video. So like the damn video, please. Yeah. And as for me, Never a Foul, find me at Never a Foul. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, MCFC Daps. And yeah, great show as always. Great show as always. And Matisse, I will be watching. I'm sure this Skull's got something for you. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. He seems to be, listen, if there's two teams that have had bad results, then two teams will get it. It's, you know what, if two teams lost and your team drew, you might have got away with it, but you ain't getting away with this one.
No, I'm not. So I'm going to go mentally prepare for about 8 minutes. And yeah, I wish me good luck. In a bit, people. Big up your damn selves. Peace. Come on.
3,